And yes, this is not per se a model build, but it is a time-lapse build. I found this at a friend's house. It wasn't too long ago. In any case, I did a search for it and found out, holy crap, there is a ton of these videos for this particular toy educational tool online for YouTube. But I thought, maybe I can try something a little different. So I was going to release the videos one at a time for each 12 builds. But the videos are like super short and in time-lapse form. But this is the layout after I have sorted all the parts for this particular model. Here's the instruction book. Yes. Got all this in here. And yes, I did use the proper tools, sorting and all the little things. I built the body and the head unit. If I can get, this was a major disappointment. The boat. It's, I guess if you take a lot more time with it, you can get better results. But I never did get it to where I thought it needed to be at its best. And here are all of the builds. For each one is a fast time-lapse build. And then I tried to do a short little video, 10, 15 seconds or something of it in operation in the sunlight. And you cannot do this indoors unless you do have a really, really bright bulb that can almost, I guess, infrared sun rays to make that solar panel operate. Now, for little test purposes, I would take and put it near this light right here. There you go. You can see the gears turning in there whenever it runs. I did build that correctly, by the way. But I found out that when you do all 12 of these, its stamina, at least for the motor part, seems to go down a little bit over time. So by the time I got to the last one, the Surfbot, it just wasn't functioning properly, and the motor just did not seem to have enough torque. The other problem I had was with the snap-on pieces, because I did so many builds that, well, as you can see right there, the snap-on pieces broke. Yes, on the same one. So that required a little engineering to use the correct one on the side with the gear to make sure the torque on the machine would not pull the facing plate off. So it kind of worked. But other than that, this is obviously my intro video to this particular little toy. I didn't have anything better to do. I was bored, so this is what I did. So if you look at all the little builds, thanks a lot. But I will get that right after this. So let the building and fun begin. Okay, I think I got this situated, so here's what's happening. We're going to do the turtle bot first. I'm doing them in order. So the first build, obviously, is not just the turtle bot. It is also the head and the body. So I situated out all my trees and got started. Okay, here we go. I'm building a body first, which was not that difficult, and it went together rather quickly. Unfortunately, this video turned out to be a little longer than I had planned, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Because as you can see, I cut off the top of the desk where I'm working because I did not realize that in the framing. So as this moves along, I eventually got into a good framing of the desktop as I'm doing the work. Whoo, look at me go. I love time-lapse. It is so much fun. Eventually, I get to a point to where, hey, look at that. That's actually recording. I get to a point to where I start organizing all the parts into bags. So that makes the videos a lot quicker when I get into the other stuff. Had to get the body built first, and I'm working on the head, which has a little solar panel on it, which only really works good in full sun. Now I think I'm starting to work on the body of the turtle bot. It worked fairly well once I got it together and got it into sunlight. There's a body and the head built. So everything is ready to go. Now here we go. Here you see, I'm starting to sort. I sorted out all the parts into bags. And that way it made it a little more organized when it comes to laying out the parts. I'm going to get to a part where I actually lay the parts out first, so that I don't have to like take individual out of the bags, which, like I said, this was a whole learning process to do this. I know it doesn't sound all that interesting, but you know, this was actually kind of a really fun thing to do. And I was really bored and didn't have anything else to do, because some of these time lapses, I think this first one went a little longer than I thought it would, because most time-lapse builds for a lot of these individual bots, I use that word with the finger quotation marks, went really, really quick. Some of them were only about a minute and a half. Some of them were shorter than that, it seems. So, and I tried to do a little video of each bot after I got it built. I took it out into a good sunlit condition to get it to run, and that was kind of fun with the first builds. But this particular kit doesn't really like to be built a lot. You can build each individual bot, but let's just say the more you build, when you get more into the bots, it starts losing its little functionality on the motor, I think. Okay, here's a video coming up of the turtle bot. Ooh, damn, that's loud. I didn't expect it to be that loud, so I may separate the sound from that. I need to just turn it down. Sounds like a freaking tank. Okay, now we're going with the walker bot, which this should go a lot quicker. Okay, see, I got all my parts. I still haven't noticed yet that I'm cutting off the edge of the desk where all of my actual work is being done, so it's not quite in frame. That'll get better as it moves along. I swear it will. Here we go. See, this frame, or this time lapse, went really quick. Okay, it's going to be loud. I'm going to try to talk over it again, but here we go. See, it functions pretty quick, and it functions really well, and that's in full sunlight. I got a train in the background, unfortunately. Okay, here we go. Next build, the quad bot, which was, it's kind of like those other bots on stilts. I still haven't realized I'm cutting my frame off a little bit, but once I figure that out, it'll be better framed. Trust me. You know, if you're watching this, you probably don't have a whole lot going on to actually watch something like this. But, you know, when you got nothing else to do, it's kind of fun to take. Now, this actual build for a time-lapse build went a little longer than what I thought some of them did, but it's still, I think it's still under a minute, because all these builds are really simple, except for this part there. When you get into the gearing and the transmission of these things, that's when it can get a little somewhat hectic. So you've really got to watch your placement of whenever you build these transmissions for all these things. Like I said, as this moves along, the torque capabilities of the little motors keep slacking off. Here we go. This one actually worked really good, except for, you know, that. I had to give a little extra boost, but overall, once it starts moving, it does pretty good. It's a little slow. Okay. Here comes the next build. What was this one? Oh, the robot. Oh yeah, let's talk about the robot. It was a terrible build. You've got to get that boat in really, really good condition to make this thing work, because I probably needed to take a lot more time with the boat, because I wasn't really getting the instruction sheet instructions quite clear on how it needed to be folded, because you basically have a piece of plastic and you got to fold on these lines and make everything work to make this one operate correctly. Because, well, I guess if you actually put it in water and you've got sunlight, it'll actually row itself along with the kind of makeshift paddle arms. At the end of this, when you see the video of it, you do see the paddle arms in functional parameters where they're actually working in the light. It's supposed to look like a little robot sitting in a boat and rowing himself along with his little arms. But I could not quite get that to work for me. But I did, the video does show it working properly. See his little legs sticking out there. Okay, here we go. We're coming on the video right now. Here we go. We're getting close. Oh, I actually did this time-lapse build, and I must have did it. Did I do it backwards? Holy crap, I think I did. I loaded these backwards, unfortunately, because this is the building of the body section attachments and everything to make everything work. I wish I had caught that earlier before I started doing voiceover. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. It's a time-lapse build. I think I've done it in 2 parts, so we're okay. This is technically the first part of the build. The other one was the second part of the build, because I just finished up on the boat. But like I said, these time-lapse builds are relatively quick. I mean, it took me maybe less than 30 minutes to build a lot of these little bots. But, yeah, you know, it's still... Time-lapse builds can go rather quickly. Okay, here we are, finishing. It almost looks like a duplicate of the first one. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, I don't do a lot of videos, so I'm not that great at it. Okay, here we go. We're coming up on the video here in just a few seconds. And you get to see it working. I did 2, one holding it, and this one sitting on the... See? Sitting on the steps, it actually looks better. But because of the way he was, it just didn't work. Okay, here we go. This is a fun one. Oh yeah, the BeetleBot. BeetleBot works really great. I enjoyed it because, man, this thing will scoot right along. And it was a fairly easy build, and this was another one of those quick ones because, let's see, 15, it's just under a minute build on time-lapse. So it goes pretty quick. The BeetleBot functioned great. You'll see that in a video because I did 2 different videos of it crawling right along. But it does function great because my motor was still doing fairly well at this point. I mean, we're into the 5th build of 12. So it hasn't started. The transmission in the actual body itself works good. Here we go. Here comes the video. Look at him go. Yeah, he just scoots right along. Here we go. Look at him. I like the way that thing works. Okay, next build. Oh, the puppy bot. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but let's just say I got 2 pictures of it at the end of it because this one just did not work. Apparently I didn't have bright enough sunlight or something because the motor wasn't developing enough torque to actually get the bot to move, which was a little disappointing. I should have took a video of it holding it up to the light bulb, because when you hold it up to the light bulb, it actually works pretty decent because, well, I'm holding it and the legs aren't having to develop torque to move the body. I guess this is not really the best design, but here we go. There it is. There's a picture of the puppy bot, which you can see it's the way it's supposed to function, kind of like the BeetleBot, but it just does not work. And even the tail wags. That's kind of funny. Okay, next one. Oh, there, the buggy bot. Okay, the buggy bot, well, it's a straightforward buggy with wheels. So once you actually got this moving, it did move fairly well. This is another relatively short build, about 1.5 minutes, maybe a minute or so. These numbers on this thing are not exactly clear where it stops and starts. Excuse me. Oh, I like watching the buggy bot. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, this was actually about 1.5 minute build, even in time lapse. It did have a really decent transmission. Now, the buggy bot doesn't require, I guess, as much torque on the gear to get it to run. So once it got moving, it scooted right along pretty well. And this is the only, well, technically, the second bot that actually uses wheels. But it's the only one that uses all 4 wheels. There we go. Look at that thing roll. Crazy thing is it's front wheel drive. I thought it was going to be 4-wheel drive, but it's not. Don't know why I'm out of breath doing that. I'm just sitting there. Oh, here we go. This is a good run here. Once it gets sunlight, woo, moves right along. Okay, next one here. Oh, crab bot. This one was just weird, and I'm sorry, I couldn't get it to function well either. It took me, after I kind of got it built, and realized this is why it was called the crab bot, because some of the other parts are supposed to kind of look like, I guess, crab claws in a way. But this is another one. It did require a lot of freaking torque to get it to move. And I don't know why it was attached to the claws, because the claws really didn't do anything. I don't know. I just don't know. But I did manage to get it semi-functional when I disconnected the pins from the claws, which didn't do anything to begin with, to make it do something, which was supposed to move like a crab. And that almost worked because, well, I think at this point one of my plate pieces had broken, so it was making it more difficult for these to operate to begin with. Okay, here comes the video of the crab bot. It's going to be funny. No, it's not funny, but there it goes. It almost works. It's supposed to slide sideways, I guess. Okay, here comes the next good build. What is this one? Oh, the slither bot. This was actually the first one I built when I first got everything sorted out to do. I did this one first because, well, it was probably the more interesting looking of all the really crazy bots you can build with this kit. There were probably a few parts on the build I needed to have paid more attention to on the instruction sheet, because I think I got something wrong in the slither section somewhere, because I don't think it functioned quite as well as it could have. But it does kind of function a little bit. So, I'm sorry, clock's in the background. It is almost 12:30 my time. I'm doing these late at night when the house is kind of quiet. But you might be picking up the sound of rain that's coming down. I'm sorry. That weird sound is me moving the microphone. Not that it really matters. Here we go. If I could figure out a way to do, I guess, some kind of crazy video using these things for flat earth, I would, but yeah, this kit does not quite lend itself to the flat earth theory. And have y'all been catching the lunar landings on the moon? The Ghost Rider that just landed did a great job. I'm looking forward to the next one. I can't remember what it's called, LM1 or something like that. It's about to land. I think it's going to land Thursday, 12:30, I think, Eastern time. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not looking at any reference material. But here comes the slither bot. I just finished it up, and here comes the video. It's about to. I set it on the trunk of my car to do it. Here it goes. It's going to be noisy. Up, got to get some sunlight. There we go. Might help if I hold the camera straight too. Yeah. Okay, that was a slither bot. I know that wasn't the best thing for it. Oh, this was another fail. Big fail. The number 10 roly-poly bot. Oh, it was terrible. This one did not work worth a poo at all. It almost worked, and I kind of had high hopes that it was going to function fairly well. I think I took the sound off the video on this one because I was doing a testing thing, so I'm probably going to remove the soundtracks of the other ones too, because, well, they're just noisy, and I don't want to talk over that noise. I should have done that beforehand, but I just didn't think of it until now while I'm sitting here doing this. So, woohoo! Oh, the other thing was, this was not to scale on the instructions. It did not go together well at all with the instructions, what they show. It's supposed to be more tighter around these guide wheels. As you can see, there's no noise to it because I eliminated the noisy ass soundtrack. But the black rolly wheels that you make are supposed to go around these gears as like a guide, but they really don't sync up well. There's too much space. It might help if I hold that stupid camera straight so you can see this thing kind of function. This video for this thing was like way too long, but it would catch sunlight, then it would move, and it would catch sunlight, and it would kind of move. So, well, you know, if I had it maybe on a flatter surface, it might have done better. But yeah, it's the concrete steps are actually pretty flat, so it should have done better, I think, than what I'm showing there. And I think I probably would have done better on the back of the car with it too. So I should have tried that, but I didn't. It just would not stay in the sunlight good. I took a couple of pictures of it after we finished this video. This video was longer. I shouldn't have done it this long. My bad. But it was, yeah. According to the instructions, it should have been a tighter fit on the gears with the rolling wheels, but it was not. It was loose as crap. Look at that. You can see it wiggling around right there. It was terrible. Okay. This is such a crazy little contraption. Also, I think I'm losing torque on the motor at this point, too, because I'm up to, I don't know. Here come the pictures. There's a picture sitting there. Ooh, how exciting is that? Here we go. Next bot. I don't even remember what this one was. Oh, the zombie bot. Yeah. This was another one of those kind of really disappointing builds because it's another one that required a lot of motor torque. And by this point, motor torque is fizzling out on this little bitty engine. It just, you know, it's a small motor, man. Come on, it's tiny. It's just things like, it's super tiny. So I think doing all 12 builds was really stretching the durability of it, which wasn't much because this thing had 2 gears in the back, 1 gear in the front. So basically it was on a tricycle type situation. And that turned out to be bad. Really bad. It's supposed to roll it along, and the arms are supposed to move up and down. It's supposed to have like little piston arm movements. So it's another one that required a lot of torque. So after I realized when I was trying to shoot the video of it, it wasn't working like it should, I came in and rebuilt the front section using the smaller, I guess you would call it smaller wheels. They're not really gears, it's just little small wheels. They're more of a functioning actuator of some kind. I rebuilt that using those just to get it to move along. And still not getting the arms to move, because with the arms attached to it, it was too much torque for the little motor to generate, so it wouldn't work. And I think my gearbox was starting to get rather, I guess, used up. So it just did not function well, but it did move a little bit. So here, the video is coming up here in just about 2 or 3 seconds or so as I finish my build up on this. Yeah, it was kind of a concept, but it just didn't function. But here it comes. Here comes the video. Lame as it is. Boom. Look at that. See that rebuild on front? That actually functions without the arms trying to wave. That was it. There we go. Okay, Surfbot. Last one. Good Lord, this is the last one. And it was terrible. It was using the main axle drive shaft through the body, not the main body bottom gear. And, well, let's just say by this point, my motor was kapooted. And there was actually a gear inside the body that wasn't even catching properly at some point, because this thing is supposed to have paddling arms on each side alternating into the water, plus kicking feet. Go figure. Those little feet on the back right there, supposed to be the legs of the surfer, and they're supposed to kick along as he paddles himself. But because the boat itself is not done as good as it probably can be, well, it was causing the machine to bind up on the axles of the arms to turn to begin with. So, but I did do a full build of it, and then this is the end of it. I didn't even do one of it actually motoring along for a video. There it is, laying there. Okay, hey, thanks for watching this, and I am done.